This tutorial explains how to manage modules in Avizo 9. Let's start with an existing project. We choose Open Project in the File menu. In the Directory Tutorials, we select the chocolate bar author slice file. In the project window, we can see different modules connected together. The first one represents a dataset. As all datasets, it is displayed in green. Two display modules are connected to this dataset. A bounding box displayed in yellow as all 3D visualization modules, and an orthogonal slice displayed in orange as all 2D visualization modules. We retrieve these two displays in the 3D view. By clicking on a module, I can select it. Once selected, the properties of the module are displayed in the Properties area. I can then see that this dataset is a uniform grid composed of 235 times 175 times 295 voxels, which are encoded in 16 bits in grayscale with a minimum value of 0 and a maximum value of 1910. The size of the voxels is displayed below. We can see that in this case the voxels are cubic. Let's select the bounding box by clicking on it. Now, the properties of the bounding box are displayed. We retrieve the dataset to which the bounding box is connected, information about the position of the bounding box in space, and some display parameters, like the color and width of the lines used to display the bounding box. I can tune the size of the lines in the 3D view. Let's set them back to 1, which is the default value. I now select the author slice to display its properties. I can see, for instance, the visibility, line width, and color of the frame along the slice. I can also see the orientation of the slice and other parameters like the position of the slice in the dataset. Working with Avizo consists in adding and connecting modules together. To create and connect a new module to an existing one, I simply right-click on the existing module. For example, when I right-click on the dataset module, a module selector appears that will let me choose which module I want to connect. Modules are arranged in categories, like the image processing category, and subcategories such as the edge detection. From the gradient class, I choose a Sobel filter. By clicking on the module name, basic information about the module is displayed in the module selector. When I click on the Create button, the new module appears in the project window connected to my dataset. Instead of clicking on the Create button, I could also directly double-click on the module name or press the Enter key once the name is selected. This is a compute module, displayed in red. It only has a few parameters, and in the Properties window, there is an Apply button that will trigger the filtering of my dataset. After clicking on it, a new dataset module is created, green as it is a dataset. This is the output of the red compute module. In the Properties window, I can see information about this new dataset, which of course is quite similar to the original dataset. To visualize this new dataset, I need a visualization module connected to it. For instance, an orthogonal slice. To do so, I proceed as before. I right-click on the dataset module, and now in the module selector, I choose the display category and then author slice. I now have a total of 3 visualization modules, 2 of them attached to the original dataset and 1 attached to the new dataset. I can see the rendering of all 3 modules in the 3D view. By clicking on the new author slice module, I see its properties, and I can change the position of the slice or change the orientation of the slice. I can have more than one module of the same kind attached to the same dataset. For instance, I will create a second author slice. This time, I can use the Recent category to find the AutoSlice module. I now have 3 slices displayed in addition to the bounding box. I can change the orientation of the last slice and move its position. I can move its position using the slider in the Properties window, or I can use the Direct Interaction mode after pressing the Escape key in the 3D view. In this mode, I can simply click on a slice and manipulate it with the mouse. To have a third view of my filtered dataset, I could create another new slice or reuse a previously created one. For example, I could use the slice connected to my original dataset. For this, I simply click on the link and drag it onto my filtered dataset. For a better comprehension of my workflow, I can move and arrange the modules inside the project view. This ends up this tutorial about the basics of modules manipulations. Please try it yourself.